Hello everyone. So let's quickly start with Terraform. So before going ahead, let me quickly tell you about myself. So my name is Prasan. So this is basically the course that I have created for to learn Terraform. And during this course, I will give you all the in-depth knowledge of all the topics. But for that, you need to enroll 6 week program. And we will give you hands-on practice on Azure and also providing recording session. So let's quickly jump into the Terraform why we required. Before I will show you the Microsoft show you the Terraform site. So this is a Terraform site basically. The Terraform is the infrastructure as a code. You can create your infrastructure by using the code. So Terraform is a declarative language. You can write that there is no such a coding required. I mean, coding skill is required. This is just a configuration file. You need to configure it and just, for example, like a YAML. So for when you are going to write the code, the Terraform, you can just write it, and there's a built-in exe available. You can download it in either in your Mac or your Windows laptop, and just plan it and apply the changes. And the advantage of this, you can you can update your Terraform file as much as many times and destroy it and rebuild your infrastructure again and destroy it. I mean, uh, it the thing that the thing is that it is very fast and you can automate the things. You can uh, create automate it and you can track your changes you create because there is a state file associated with it. For that you can check whether which changes you made. For example, if you're going to be automate by CI/CD pipeline, you can use here some word to see what changes you have made, and you can review those changes and approve it. And so similarly, the another thing, you can deploy it in your multi-cloud environment. So it's not for Azure, you can go to GCP and AWS as well. And there are the standardized, I mean, standard configuration provide a reusable configuration module. So there are already existing modules are available. So you can create the modules. So you just reuse your code. So I will give you the first, I mean, in this, uh, I probably start with this module and I just give you overviews of how you can start it. So for that, you need not require anything. We will play around with some of the basic configuration module, like global module, where you can get your all the metadata and everything. Like in a coding language, you get the constant. So for example, what would be the name of your resources and this kind of stuff, the naming convention by so this you can create a module based on that, and whenever you require you can pass your tenant name and your resource that you want to create it, and it will give you a uh, desired name for the particular resource. So we'll discuss it later. So yeah, so you can collaborate. So because you can put your code in the somewhere in the GitLab or features version control system. So that way you can share your code with your colleague, and you can create a, if you are a multiple team, you can write a code into a different module, and then you can create a pull request out of that. So this is all about the basic of Terraform, why we need it. So because there is some of the use cases I'm going to show you, like you can deploy it a multi-cloud environment. You can create, for example, there is requirement you need to increase or decrease your scaling infrastructure. Self-service cluster, for example, you need to have a ticketing based system where you can use this Terraform as well. So the policies, the pass set of the policy, so you can quickly create a platform as a service. For example, it give you for example, or to allow you to create a web application. So here you can use this Terraform. You could do all the configuration, and then once it is done, you can trigger your code with a CI/CD pipeline, and then the automatically everything is set up. And also you can use other, for example, you can create use the Terraform language as a manage your Kubernetes, and you can always you can run in a parallel environment. For example, you have may have a QA environment that you're able to test the before releasing anything. You can write it. I mean, you can execute your script into the various, or if you want to give a demo, some kind of, so you can easily create your environment and later you can destroy it. So kind of POC purpose you can use it. So in order to start it, so let's quickly say if you want to start it, so you can, for example, you need to start with your first step, you need to install it. So if you are in the window, so you go with the chocolatey and just install it. Install Choco install Terraform. So it will install everything, and once it is done, or for example, if you are you want to do the manual installation, you can download the binaries and you can put everything in the binaries you put into the environment variables, and then so when you run the Terraform, the binaries are available in the environment, so it will easily accessible. And the first command, there is a basic commands are available. So if you run Terraform hyphen help, you will get all the help related to the Terraform. So there is a Linux as well. So I'm not going to go right now in the Linux environment because I'm focused on the Windows right now. So that's it about the setting up the infrastructure. So let's quickly jump another. So this is the basic PPT I have prepared. So basically it's nothing that's related to the same as so whatever we have covered in the Terraform documentation, it's pretty much the same. So we have a different tools are available as well for example to ISC infrastructure as code you can use Azure template, you can use RM templates, CloudFormation. Yeah, Terraform is one of them. So declarative, so imperative language for step by step like Java, C, C++, Python, and you can name it. So declarative language, you do not need to know like what is going on. You just give a command. For example, select star from student. This is SQL command. It will fetch the data from the SQL table without knowing that where it need to go and what where the data need to be fetched. So you need not to be go to the into the depth like so where you need to where the data is being stored, which address of the memory you need to read. So these are the stuff, I mean, nitty-gritty you need not to remember. You just know the declarative language, and for the declarative language, you call the Terraform. Terraform's support for each dynamic block, locals, and the complex data such as like map and the collection. You can. So let me quickly show you the. I have created one of the basic Terraform. So I have create I have set up my environment. and I just need to uh, so this is my Visual Studio Code. So here I have created this source file module. Before going, you need to know some of the basic extension. It's what you can install it at Azure Terraform, right? So you can install this extension. So let me first show you like how to run the command into the Terraform. So for example, let's say, so this is a basic command Terraform. So let me, is it visible? Let me make it a little bit bigger. So Terraform. So these are the command, and if you see, this is the main command: init, validation, plain, apply, and destroy. These are the main commands you need to know. And this is the rest of the other commands. I mean, this is, but these are the main. Whenever you need to set up, prepare your directories, you need to use this init, and then validator to check whether this, whenever you have write and your configuration files are correct or not. And once it is, then you can write, make a plan, and when everything is done, you can apply it, and the finally you can destroy your infrastructure. So let me quickly show you. So so uh, so let me quickly go to this uh, directory. So wait a minute. So this is a directory, if you see, and I have this resources. I have this module, so I'm going to the resources. So if you see, let me show you. So this is the example of the locals. So nothing, I'm just creating a locals, and we will discuss later what are the locals, and these are the function. And if you know a little bit of programming background, so this is what we did. We just create a constant over there. So if you see the name, location, environment, blah blah blah. If you are in the dev environment, if you're prod environment, we have a different configuration. We pass the configuration over there. Based on that, it will create the resources, right? So this is the main intent over there. So if you see, we have this output variables. Output variables is the things we are in to be returned. So we are creating the outputs, and this is the variables. These are the variables where whenever we use this module, what are the main input we need to pass. So these are the variables: this the application, environment, location, and tenant. So tenant is basically the Azure tenant. For example, if you are in uh, uh, if you are working with some cloud, they will provide you an tenant to work on their infrastructure. So in their uh, they provide you some space. It's called a tenant, right? So so these are the output variables, and what we are going to do, we have created, these are the other variables, and this is the environment I have created. So this is the configuration file. So for example, if I need to create the configuration dev environment, I've had to build a dev environment, I will pass the dev configuration. If the prod environment, okay, so it's environment is prod, so if the environment is prod, I will pass the prod configuration. If the environment is QA, I will pass the QA. If UAT, I will pass the UAT. So let me go into the region. So if you see this, this is the main, this is a global naming convention, and this is also what we did here. I created called this global. This is my module, this one. I have the source and specify the location of this global module, and these all are the variables that I need to pass. So once I have passed these variables, then I will be calling these from the main, and this is the output. So module.globals, if you see, the output basically is we will get the output whatever this module return us. So if you see in the output, these are the values we will expect it to give back. So let me quickly first of all show you what happened if, let me go inside this resources directory, resources region. So if you see, this is the Terraform main. So what I will do, if I will do, let me delete the rest of other files here. So these are the module files saying key value pair. So I will going to delete this file here. Okay, so now I have a blank. So let's quickly, if I'm going to say Terraform init, so what it does, it just put the reference inside this Terraform module and it will return. If I'm say this is a JSON file, uh, so this is, we created the JSON file inside the module folder, right? And you specify the what resources and what module and where is the directory and what is the name of the module. So now the next step, if I'm saying Terraform plan, so it asks me for the values. So for example, let's say data file that we use to configure the region. So it will ask me for config data file. So right now, if you see here in the main, var.configuration, if we are saying calling the Terraform region main output, and this is the variables again. I have created the variables inside here as well, tenant location, and this is the configuration file. So the configuration file that we are going that I'm going to pass, right? So let me pass that configuration file. So what I will do, I will kill the session here, Control C, and then I will do Terraform plan hyphen var hyphen file, and I'm going to one level up. If you see, I need to go somewhere here in the environments, and I need to grab this dev.tf var file, right? So the same thing I'm going to do. So yes. So inside the uh, environments dev.tf tf where's and this is the configuration file, right? And I will get back everything that I need. So for example, now it it give back me the resource name. So this is the resource base name. If you want to be, if I'm going to create the name, it would be something like this. So there, so if you check this here, so there the logic is here somewhere here. So what I'm saying if I'm pass any kind of environment. So for example, I have passed here why it's calling automatically. If you see here, these are my default settings, right? Tenant name, person. So this is location, and this is the application name. So let me uh, pass this one by one, so you will see uh, the difference. So let me call it again. Mhm. So where I have this application right now I'm saying the application would be not Terraform. There is one my private project. The company it's let's say Terra Azure Cloud. This is the application. If I press enter, sorry, I think there is a typo. Yes. So if you see, this is my tenant name and this is my application name and this is -dev. If you see here, application. So let me scroll down, scroll a bit. So yes, so the environment, based on the environment, I will get back the environment name and the location at the end. So this is my resource name. So I will be creating my resource group based on this, and whenever I will require, I will create the module underneath of this module folder. For example, let me go to this. So wait a minute. Yeah. So if you see, I need to right now we have a different environment. So if I need in queue environments, there might be the case. We are we're going to uh, use a different configuration based on the environment, and also we have a multiple location. So in that case, uh, we will create a separate block and separate configuration. So for example, East US and the South Central US, we need to create a different regions based we will deploy our resources in the different regions so that availability of the application. And also we if you need to create a API management, so we will create a module here, and we will pass in the main, we will call the module API management, then it will create the API management related resources over there as well. So this is how we can create the infrastructure if we have a different environment. So I think you like it. If you like it, please uh, let me know in the comments. And I think this is all about. So we have not discussed yet about what are the loops and everything. This is just a basic introduction about the what we can do. So let me tell you about for the Terraform TF file. I haven't give anything. I'm not using any kind of plugin right now because we do not require anything. This is kind of data structure. This is just an example of a data structure, how we can use the data structure right now. I use a local here, and there is another property we can call a local inside the local. So this is a local, so we can reference back here without s. So this is these are the functions. We have a different function. For example, substring. I use a substring, and this is the replace function. Rest of other stuff I have used is JSON configuration over there, all the environment, and yep, that's it. So for the output, I just provide the globals. So you can do something like this global. So if you see in the output, so for example, let me show you. Uh, so here, if you see, if you want to get this a source name, you can just so if you see in the hierarchy, this is the globals, and if I say globals dot this one, and so let me run a plan again and see if I'm able to get back this resource or not. So uh, so let me apply these changes, then you're able to. Yes, it will ask, do you want to perform approve it? It says yes. So it gave back me two outputs if you see globals and this one. And if you see it's creating this state file, Terraform state. Oh, sorry, this one state file, uh, this one, and here you will see mention all the outputs here. If there is another command in the Terraform, let me quickly show you Terraform. So this is command is called show, and there's another command is state management state. So if I say state list show, right now there is no resource, that's why it's not returning back any kind of resources right now. So that is why. So You can say something like this. It will give back all the output variables. Terraform show. Terraform show and the name of the output variable. Mm, mm, Something like this. Not sure. Show. Okay. Okay. I think so. This is what I think. That's it. That's it for the today. Thank you, everyone. So I think I hope you like it. This is the end of this streaming. Thank you, and I will see you in the next time. Bye.